So the big question for all of you is, what would it look like if you just skipped to the finish line? What would an ideal world look like if the problem that you have been spending your working days and your sleepless nights trying to figure out, what if it was actually solved? What would it even look like if those problems were solved? And once you think about what that preferred future is, are there new solutions that come to you when you're not thinking about the incremental change that you can make, but you're actually thinking about that finish line? There may actually be different ways to get to the finish line than what you've been focused on. So spend some time thinking about what your preferred future would look like. The second step is looking both at the forest and the trees. So you can't just be flexible when change comes. And I think a lot of us have been trying to figure that out. The world is constantly changing. We feel like we're in upheaval. We try to hire people that can be flexible when change happens. But what we need to actually be able to do is anticipate change and prepare for it before it actually happens. Because a problem can be an opportunity if you know about it before it lands on your doorstep. So how do we do this? You need to make time to look for the signs that are already out there. Somebody asked me once in the nonprofit and philanthropic sectors, where is there time and space for R&D? So companies spend a lot of time on research and development, and startup companies spend most of their time on research and development. But if you ask somebody who works at a nonprofit or at a foundation, where is the research and development function? They'll stare blankly at you and wonder if you've confused the sector that they work in. So we need to start to set aside time for research and development and think 5 to even 50 years in the future and pay attention to the trends that are giving you a vision of what that future is going to look like. We have a clear idea of what demographic changes are going to look like in the state of Minnesota. And so as you're planning out the work that you do, think about what the university is going to look like 25 years later if you're planning a new building and you know that that building is going to be there for 25 years. How is the student body going to be different? How's the population going to be different? How many dorm rooms are you going to need? All of these things are things that we can really look out to the future and see. And I think the baby boomers are a great example of this. We were shocked when we needed to build new schools for baby boomers to go to school in, and then we were shocked when we didn't have enough space in universities. Now we're shocked that they're retiring. They're going to continue to get older. That's what happens to all of us. I know that we fight against that, but that's what happens. And so let's pay attention to those trends. The other thing that you can pay attention to is innovations that happen outside of your field. I'm guilty of this as well, where you spend a lot of time paying attention to what's happening in your area. What are the newest things and people, what are they thinking about? What's the newest research? The really exciting things can be happening in other sectors, and they can influence the work that you're doing. Somebody else is making an innovation that's going to help you figure out a solution, and they didn't even realize that was the problem that they were working on as well. One great way to do this is TED Talks. So on my blog at New Voices of Philanthropy at tristaharris.org, I'm doing a 21-day TED Talk challenge where there are 21 separate TED Talks about a wide variety of topics. And I'm asking people to watch the TED Talk and then think about how there's lessons about their work that are applicable to what's happening there. It helps you to break out of some of the ruts that we develop, and it helps you to see really exciting people that are doing great work that can help you see a little bit better what might work for you.